dying today. You've got innocent cops, innocent cops. You're not dying today either. Let's all cough together. You'll have one big mega cough. 'Cause we're coughing for the future, I guess. I don't know. I had a good start. I don't know where that one was going. Jesus, greetings all, bird of prey, sing me a lullaby. A lullaby, huh? It's 8 o'clock on a Monday, and Anti-Tracker is shaving baby Groots. Sassy's jumping on the bed with a woo, and Stromore is typing away in the chat. It's 8 o'clock on a Saturday, and you're on a bed live stream. I'm so sorry you're feeling sick, but life is but a dream. That's an original, except the last time I borrowed that. I forget from where. John DeMarcus is a good idea to Mama Pray.
When a humble turd graced a ride along with Michael J. Crawford, along came this song. The Turdistan he fought, a bedridden devil, his army of clones at his jar did they revel. They came after us, crossed the borderline, took all our orphans to send down their mines, while the feathered beast read out the above. So cried the trekker, this madness must stop. Toss a coin to your trekker, oh planet of plenty, oh planet of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your trekker, oh planet of plenty. Vile Kurogans fled and hid what they had stole. Every orphan was shackled and kept in the cold. But he did not relent, the third king was hell-bent. He slayed the Kurogans, then to Bird's house he went. with a mighty blow. He struck that button red, the mighty bird folded into by his bed. That's my epic tale, our champion prevailed. So let's drink a toast with some Romulan ale. Toss a coin to your trekker, oh planet of plenty, oh planet of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your trekker, oh planet of plenty, oh planet of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your trekker, oh planet of plenty, oh planet of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your trekker, the greater destiny.
Hey guys, Michael J. Crawford, the Anti-Trekker here. Good to see each and every one of you. Hope that those of you that are in lockdown are enjoying it the best you can, and those of you that aren't in lockdown, well, look forward to it. So, I'm not quite done with Baby Groot yet, so this is still a work in progress, but I thought I'd show you. This is because I only had a little bit of time to paint today. I only got to work on them for maybe about a half an hour or so solid time. So this is where we're at with Baby Groot right now. And it's funny because you can actually see some of the green in, even though, you know, you can see like the very tips are kind of grayed out because of the green, which is a problem with trying to show it while on a green screen. So if we turn the green screen off, then you can see it a little better as far as the way that the top of his head is. There's also a little bit of green accents all along his body, but still has some work to do. And let's get to the chat, because I know, you know, this is not going to be a super epic long live stream because I got a late start. And I don't blame Bird, because Bird got a late start because the group on Orville Nation went long, so no biggie. 47 Yorktown was first, says, well, actually, before I started streaming, says, hurry up, Bird won't stop singing. And then Thomas says, hi. Springtime says, how's it going, buddy? I'm hurting, but I'm okay. Hello, humans, alien robots in disguise, and other cats. So, alien robots in disguise are a form of cat? I'm confused.
I got him!
And Nightbreeze puts in a buck.
Switch to live chat, hit the like button, tell your friends, turn on notifications, down with Kuroga treats for Auntie and death to disco.
Absolutely, and let's get that disco going. I do love that Death to Disco. And thank you, Nightbreeze. I do appreciate it. And where were we? Oh, yeah. Alexander says hello. Trolita says bird is the word. Darth Maul says Bird song needs more meta. Well, Bird song, yeah. Tom says, I leave Bird of Prey because of singing. You give me more. Tanks coming to you also. Wow, hey, wait a minute. No, Thomas, we're going to have a talk about that. Since you're using Turtistani tanks, they're not going to work against Turtistanis. You know about the failsafe, right? Commander says, greeting from the quarantine left coast. I will still be working, though, through all this. I feel really bad for those who are not. There is too much uncertainty right now. I agree. My heart is out to those that can't work. And that just sucks, but, you know, keep on keeping on, Commander, and I'm glad that you are able to work. Mike Richard says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio, where the people all dance and sing. I did not know that's what people did in Columbus, Ohio. I thought they just kind of sat around and went cow tipping. Springtime says, are you sure you're strong enough for this? It's Bird of Prey. Trolita says, I always miss Bird's live streams, but make make time to rewatch them. Unlike yours, Anti-Checker. Sorry. Wow, Trolita. Wow, that just cut deep. Rambling Canuck says, can't stay long. I will be going live myself at around 10 p.m. Eastern, but had to say hi and give you a like. Oh, I see how it is. Rambling Canuck. Uh-huh. And Thomas shows a whole bunch of turds in the chat. Trolita says, what did you do? I assume talking about that beautiful rendition of Bird of Prey's Lullaby. Aberjam says, greetings, oh great Turtistani. Hey, Aberjam. Trolita says, Thomas, I've reported you to YouTube. That's not going to work anymore, Trolita. YouTube is nothing but bots. There are no people working at YouTube. And by the way, and I'm sorry, I'm going to call total 100% BS on Google and YouTube, because they can easily have all of their people do their job from home. And don't give me some crap about logistics, because the company I work for is a very large company, and they migrated people from working in offices to working at home in about 2 days. And so Google could absolutely do that, and they're a higher tech company than we are. Not to mention they're an internet-based company. So yeah, screw you guys. I don't buy it for 1 second. You're just using this as an excuse to censor. Springtime says, Mama Prey must live. Bird of Prey must patrol outside of her bunker. Yeah, Bird of Prey does patrol outside of her bunker. Doesn't let her eat. I mean, we gotta rescue her. Trolita says, hello, Auntie, what did you do? What was that? That was just Bird singing his lullaby. Do you have animations to go along with the songs? Not yet, Thomas. That's something that I want to think about doing. I haven't figured out quite how to do that yet, though. Number one says, hope that you are all doing better. Well, my knee's hurting like a SOB, but I'm in high spirits right now, and I hope for nothing but the best for all of you. Zachary says, thank you for taking us away from bird singing. You are more than welcome, Zachary. Greetings and felicitations. Hip hurrah. And I believe it is pronounced tally-ho. Welcome, Mr. Lundell. Trolita says, I haven't left my house since Tuesday. Take that, coronavirus. I like being at home. So comfy. I got TP and food for months. Oh, you're the one buying all the TP. I see how it is. Haberjam says that's a great 3D model of Nancy Pelosi. That is just cruel. I mean, come on. Nancy Pelosi wishes she could look this good. Ralph says, D-Culture, how you doing, Ralph? Mr. Wolverine says, howdy, Mr. Friend Buddy, how you doing, my friend? Springtime says, I'm almost in lockdown. Well, coming soon to a town near you, Springtime. Uh-oh, we're red alert, not doing well. Now the knee is really, really hurting like a ton right now. You trimmed your warrior beard. Yes, I did trim the beard. I do that every now and then because if I would love, nothing more than to like have this massive epic beard, but Mrs. Anti-Trekker prefers it trimmed every now and then, and Mrs. Anti-Trekker always wins. Darren's in the house. Says, good evening, infidels. How you doing, Darren? Hope that the overtime situation for you settles down soon, unless you're enjoying it, in which case I hope you get lots more overtime. Us Gen X peeps are like, stay at home, cool. Well, I'm one of them. Aberjam says, Antrekker has a green tip confirmed. Wow. Ryan says, Groot looks great. Thank you, Ryan. Still, like I said, still have some still have some work to do, but I think he's coming along pretty good. And Bird of Prey says, Kapla, I hope you heard your song, Bird. You couldn't have done it without your incredible singing. Max says, Earth people attention, due to Jar Jar Abrams, Jar Jar Abrams and Alex Klutzman, Alex Kurtzman, Trekkies and Trekkers are divided. What does the anti-Trekker think? Well, do I think that Trekkies and Trekkers are divided? Yes-ish. They're not as divided as I think most people want to think they are. I think the only thing they're really divided on is, honestly, Picard. I think that the rest of it is not, there's not that heavy a division. And Orville Nation throws a couple of bucks, says, thanks for joining our stream earlier. It was my pleasure, Orville. I had a lot of fun. I'm still mad at Corin, and I hope you get a hold of him soon. Oops, I was talking over the British voice, but I hope you get a hold of him soon because I'd still love to talk to him sometime. So hopefully that will make that happen. But I took time. Why does everything you print look like delicious chocolate? Well, not everything. I mean, Hulk doesn't look like delicious chocolate. Mr. Wolverine throwing a bunch of hearts and the number 23. Aberjam is talking with Scientific Les. DJ says, hope you won't sing tonight. I don't plan on singing tonight. Don says, yes, the fail safe was removed. I know you think so, Thomas. But notice, no explosions. Let's see. And I see Mr. Miles is picking a fight. But that's just because Mr. Miles is feeling feisty tonight, I guess. Zachary says, well, YouTube never gives me alerts when you are going live, even when it shows I'm subscribed. I know. Well, there's a lot of problems with alerts right now, and it's not just me. Channels big and small across the board are having a ton of problems with alerts going on. I think that it's YouTube dicking around with things while they can. They got to try to manipulate the election. Average John says, please sub to Captain Trek. He'll just make if just a few more to make 100, and he will sing live. Wow. Well, we got to get that going on. So Captain Trek is at 95 subscribers. Now, I know Bird of Prey tried to get Captain Trek to 100 and failed miserably. However, I, of course, am not Bird of Prey. So this is what we're going to do. All right. I know that there are at least 5 of you. There's 50 of you watching right now. I know there's 5 of you that have not subscribed to Captain Trek. So I want you to go there right now and subscribe. Now look, if you don't like his content, you don't have to watch all his content, but at least give him a shot. So here, there's Captain Trek's channel. Go there right now, subscribe to him. Let's get him to 100, and that way he can sing live and I don't know, is he going to sing live on, where is he going to sing live? I assume he has that arranged. So now we got 96, so we got 1 now. We need 4 more. 97, very good. Just 3 more. 99, just 1 more. Come on, we can do this. Just 1 more sub. 101. Good job, Captain Trek. Bam. So, you see, Birdo Prey, that's how it's done. That's how it's done. All right. So thank you, all of you that just subbed to him. And I have no idea what he's going to be doing. So, I see he's been doing live streams himself. I didn't even realize that, guys. And it's funny because I'm subscribed to him, but I did not realize it. Subscription is still poor on. He's at 109. Wow. You see, look at that. Look at that. That's how we do it. That is how we do it. All right. Let's get back to it. Let's see. Hope all's well and everyone's staying safe. Indeed, Ozzy, I do too. Make sure, but here's the thing. Do we have to be paranoid? No. You just got to use some common sense. Is the beard, it's Antric's beard trimmed, weird, and mismatched? It might be a little bit off. If it is, I apologize. Rambling Canuck says, for the record, Sci-Fi Nation and I have been promoting our new Monday Night Mayhem for like a week to start at 10 p.m. Eastern, so nothing personal, but the show must go on as advertised. No, I understand, Rambling. I'm not going to get mad at you for it. And here's the thing. I wasn't planning on being, because usually right now, at least, I'm streaming it from like 7 to 9, and that would be perfect, because 9 my time is 10 your time, and that's when you would be starting. So that should be fine during this crazy crisis. And after the crazy crisis, assuming my schedule goes back to normal, then I won't get off work until 11. And so once again, that should work fine, assuming you guys go from like for your time 10 to midnight. For me, it would be 9 to 11. That would work out too. So no hard feelings at all. Nightbreeze, Handchecker admits he's high? No, I did not. Did you see that Zuckerberg is thinking about stopping Facebook? Why the hell would he do that? I mean, like shutting it down in the middle of this? Really? That makes no sense. Your stream window is naked. Oh, shoot. The stream window is naked. That's because I was I got rid of the tip jar and stuff for the live stream that I was on with Orville Nation earlier, because it's in bad taste to have the tip jar up and running when you're not on your own stream. So let's bring that stuff back, and then we'll bring back the message. Oops, wrong one. Where'd it go? There it is. There. Now, as far as not seeing the 3D printer, that is actually because I'm moving. I just moved the 3D printer a couple of days ago. Well, actually, not yesterday, in fact. It's actually right over here now, where it was over there. And so I don't have a camera trained on it just... Well, I have a camera kind of pointed in the general direction, but the green screen is in the way. And so once I get things arranged properly, which should be the next couple of days, I'll have the camera back on the 3D printer. All right. Let's see. Indy says that Star Wars girl called out YouTube for using bots only during the quarantine as well. Yeah, it's bull crap. I tell you, Google, of all companies, Google, the company who used to say do no harm. Oh, we're the great progressive liberal company that cares about people. We care about hugs and kisses and holding hands and singing kumbaya. That's Google, right? Except that when there's the first sign of trouble, screw our employees. We'll let bots do all the work. There you go. So, should I say why the Mrs. Aintricker prefers the beard trimmed? Or, well, she just thinks it looks better that way. That's all it is, Trolita. Darren says, some kids TP'd their principal's house last night, and the small town wants those kids canned in the town square for wasting toilet paper. That is kind of funny, actually. LDG says, Google gin-soaked golden raisins when you get a chance later for your pain. Gin-soaked golden raisins? Now I got to look that up now. Let's see. Gin-soaked golden raisins. Gin-soaked you take a box of golden raisins. Cover the raisins with gin. Let the raisins soak in gin for a few weeks till the gin evaporates. The raisin will not dry out, but will stay moist, just like normal raisins. Eat 9 of these drunken raisins a day. Caned. They want them caned in the town square, not canned. Thank you, Darren. Sorry, yes, dyslexia. You know me, Darren. But yeah, and I still think that's hilarious, though, that they did that. You know what? People need to get over the toilet paper thing, because this is not a gastrointestinal disease. That's the stupid thing. So whatever. Let's see. Bird of Prey says, I did hear it, went back and listened. Oh, okay, good. Wait, how does dyslexia... Because look at canned and caned. It's very hard for me to tell the difference between those two words. Dyslexia is not what they show you on TV. It's not just like, oh, look, the letters are backwards, because that would be obvious. Right? It's a way of processing the incoming information in writing. It makes it difficult for people like myself. Let me adjust the AC. It's getting a little toasty up here. Turn it. There we go. All right. Commander says, I've been watching TOS lately. Is it just me, or does Mr. Scott die the most and then come back to life? Yes, well, he is a red shirt, Darren says, the comic book industry may have finally died today. Diamond Comics distribution has ceased operation for at least the time being. Yes, I heard about that. And you know what? It was quite... And you know this, Darren. The industry was destined to the grave anyway. So if they don't come back, it just... The virus may have accelerated it, but it's been a long time coming. Ralph says, I'm taking your advice and making videos for my channel, making 1 to 2 videos a week. The animation is the part slowing me down a little. That's all right, Ralph. Take your time. Especially now, if you got time right now, then do it. let's see. We are all up to 30 all over the state. It's getting we're up to 30 all over the state. It's getting bad. 30, springtime. Shut up. Alaska probably is less than any other state right now. Ryan says, please tell me you're 3D printing a baby O next. That would be funny, but no. Thomas says, we love our queen and won't fire at your house. We might send in special ops to get you. Oh, that's nice to know. And there's Aberjam giving the link to Captain Trek's channel. And Captain Trek is now up to 112. Awesome. Seabird, see, that's how you do it. We love our queen. I already read that. Darren says, screw Vault Tech. They are pikers compared to Google YouTube. I'm not sure exactly what you mean there. Captain Trek will sing unsubbing. Well, Two Lady has already got 112. Zachary says, yeah, I think all Trekkies and Trekkers can agree that Discovery is not true Trek. I mean, maybe they will be wrong and everything turns around season 3 and maybe Aunt Trek will be president. Yeah. Oh, yeah, to the division thing. So, yeah, I know a lot of people think that there's this huge division, but no. 99% of Trekkies and Trekkers cannot stand Star Trek Discovery. As far as Star Trek 2009, most Trekkies and Trekkers are like, yeah, it's all right, but it's not Star Trek. And then there's like Into Darkness. People are like, oh no, that was horrible for the most part. Now, I'm one of the few people that actually didn't hate Into Darkness, but I get it. And then Star Trek Beyond, most Trekkies tend to think that it's the most Star Trek feeling of the JJ films, which I disagree with, but again, that's okay. And then when you get to, obviously Discovery, they all hate, but Picard is really the only one that's kind of been divisive. And I think that is because Picard is better than Discovery, but it's not enough better than Discovery. Sean says, the whole internet has slowed down for the past week. It's likely to get worse. Too many people staying home. Indeed. I've noticed that as well. Ryan says, okay, a sub, Captain Trek owes you now. Wow, no, Captain Trek doesn't owe me anything. If anything, he owes Aberjam. Mr. Miles says, the reason I was telling him to fight me is because of his name. It's the Spanish version of my name, and just like Highlanders, there can be only one. There can be only one. Captain Trek says, oh my god, thank you so much, Anti-Trek and Aberjam. Oh, no problem, Captain Trek. Maybe Zuckerberg is going to become a supervillain after the Facebook self-destruct and fall of civilization. I think he already is a supervillain, but, I'm just saying it makes no sense to shut down. I mean, unless he really does just want to be known as the biggest dick in the history of history, it really doesn't make sense to shut down the #1 social media site on the planet in the middle of a crisis in which many people can only communicate through social media. Zachary says, so the printer is near Uhura's station. Got it, Antracker. It was near Scotty's. Yes, kind of. You should stock up of 3D printer material in case people get desperate for toilet paper. Captain Trek wants to know if anyone has a birthday tomorrow. I do not. Mine is in April. All that Google cares nonsense went out the window 15 minutes after Trump was elected. Yeah, I know. Dad O'Prey did the golden raisins for a while. Really? I did not know that. Did it work? I've never heard of using golden raisins for arthritis. Although I am actually getting a industrial grade electro-stim machine on Wednesday. We'll see how that goes. Darren says, Darren knows nothing about dyslexia, just dyscalculia. Yes, and dyscalculia is a thing. Piano Dean, sub to Captain Trek. Thank you, my friend. #1 puts crap, poison, skulls, alien monsters, ghosts, and then skull and crossbones again. Okay. Crap, poison, skull, aliens, ghosts. Yeah. Darren says, if we actually had global warming, the COVID-19 virus would be dead already. Too bad we don't even have a globe. Oh, man. That is actually one of those things, Darren, that makes me laugh, is that people keep saying, oh, the virus will stop because spring is coming. No, spring is not going to stop the virus. Sorry, people. Juan says, tonight at midnight, Ohio goes into stay-at-home order. I begin my 2 weeks of staying in. That sucks, Juan. And, you know, I'm so against these things. I am 100% opposed to these lockdowns. It's like, it really does feel like the government is, you know, and I know Trump is technically a Republican, but he's going along with it. It's like they want to get to what the Democrats ultimately want, which is governmental control of everything. That's what they're going to get. Because do you really think that if they start controlling every single aspect of life in California and everywhere else, that they're going to suddenly just relinquish it when the virus goes away? Now, maybe they will. I hope they do. But I think it would be tempting for them to not. Daniel says, I think it was deliberate. Someone released the virus on purpose, and it sucks. The world has to pay the price for actions of these people. I don't know that it was deliberate, Daniels, because, I mean, various strains of various viruses happen. I mean, you know, SARS happened, MERS happened, H1N1 happened. You know, these things do happen. It's just that this people are just grotesquely overreacting to this one. I like the analogy that Star Trek Picard is satisfying the same way a dry towel is after stepping out of the shower. Not quite sure I get that. But rumor is someone released it on purpose as a conspiracy. They were preparing for the New World Order. Well, you know what? I don't know as far as the virus being released on purpose, but I do know that politicians are opportunists. And the simple fact that Nancy Pelosi deliberately stalled the getting aid to people and then started adding in all sorts of crap like living wage laws and stuff like that as riders on the stimulus package, it could kind of show you. Get smart. Buy plastic toilet paper. It's reusable and easy to wash. Okay. Thomas says, dyslexia gives superpowers only if you are a Vulcan. Maybe President Trump should launch a nuke at the virus like he wanted to a hurricane. Well, don't give him any ideas. Classic Glue Review says, hi, how you doing, Classic Glue? After the recent earthquake, Mila says, my neighbor wanted to move out to the desert. LOL, seen right out of Independence Day, missing Will Smith. The fine people of Oregon protested all this craziness by having a bleach party over the weekend. We need more of this. I know, what is a bleach party? Or a beach party? Oh, the fine people of Oregon. Well, here's the thing. I think that's stupid also. Don't get me wrong. I think that the grotesque overreaction is stupid. But I also think that purposely gathering in large crowds is stupid as well. However, the thing is that... I just think that this is such an overreaction to everything. Sean says the world has been through something similar with the Spanish flu of 1918. Well, the Spanish flu was nothing like this. You know, I'm sorry. People that want to compare this to Spanish flu, this, you know. Let's see. According to Google, approximately 50 million people died from Spanish flu. All right. So that is freaking crazy, right? Now, compare that to the 14,000 deaths so far from this virus. So, yeah, we're nowhere near anything like the Spanish flu. If they don't give up the power, we take it back. Well, you have fun with that, Resolute, because I can barely walk, so I will not be able to join the fight. Rahm Emanuel said it in 2008, you never want a serious crisis to go to waste, and what I mean by that is an opportunity to do things that you think you could not have before. Yep, that seems to be what they're doing. It was Umbrella Corporation. Well, it doesn't seem quite as bad as the T virus either. It's called adding pork to a bill and a classic politician move. Yo, I understand that, Zachary. I do understand that. I get how the system works. It happens all the freaking time. But the thing about it is that there are certain bills that you do not do that with, right? Emergency bills primarily. If you have an emergency situation, that's not the time to be adding pork. And I know that people do it sometimes, but anytime that is done, those people need to be called out and need to basically lose their freaking jobs. And this is why I actually think, especially at times like this, the president should have a line item veto. In 2008, Wuhan, China lab opened a lab to study viruses. However, I don't think they intentionally released anything. Well, that's the thing. I'm not accusing anybody of anything as far as that's concerned. I'm just saying that the politicians right now certainly seem to be interested in taking advantage of the situation. Here's a fun activity. Watch the 1985 We Are the World video and count how many are dead. That doesn't sound fun. Picard was as satisfying as stopping mid-orgasm. Wow, LDG. Well, we haven't seen the last episode yet, so I won't... Yeah. Mr. Lundell says Spanish influenza was much worse. Oh, yeah. Heck, last year's flu was much worse so far. Last year's flu killed 35,000. 20,000 more than have died so far from this disease. Now, this disease could well outdo the 35,000 by the time all said and done. But you know what people didn't do last year? Shut down everything! John Meyer says, all this device being wonky, I haven't been around and might continue. If I need, I'll return same name, new device. Hi, Ed Trigger. Oh, hi, I missed the hi. Hi, Ed Trigger and all. This device is being wonky. I haven't been around and that might continue. All right, John. Well, I'm sorry that you've been having technical problems, but I'm glad to see you here. Hell, the 2010 earthquake tidal wave killed more. Yeah, that's true. Daniel says, I celebrated my 33rd birthday yesterday and could not go anywhere because everything was closed. That sucks, Daniel. And I know the feeling because, I mean, my 52nd birthday is coming up in a few weeks and I ain't going anywhere. Mr. Miles says, this thing is similar to the Spanish flu, though in some specific areas, such as its spread and infection rates. Also, both initial outbreaks originated in China. Interesting, although one is influenza and the other is corona. They're two very different viruses. Anyway, a large portion of those who died during the Spanish flu actually died from overdoses of the newly introduced drug called aspirin. Really? I don't know about that. I'm not an expert on it, so I'll take your word for it. You do your part for the revolt. You and Bird could carry the banner on the back on your wheelchair built for two. Fair enough. I'm sure Bird will be more than happy to hang out with me. I saw someone in Vienna 3D printed surgical masks for doctors. I saw that someone was trying to. I haven't heard of it. I did hear that they 3D printed some respirator parts for some of the doctors and then promptly got sued by the company that owns the patent for them, which is such a load of crap. More people died in Star Trek Picard than have died from coronavirus. That's probably about right. Hey, I'm dealing with COVID right now, and you know it sucks, but it's fine. I'm home, away from people, and I'm not bitching about being stuck at home. Well, yeah. But yeah, I just... I like I said, I'm tired of... I think we are overreacting. COVID-19 is going to get much worse before it gets better. Don't use the numbers to date to decide its severity. Well, Sean, what you have to do is look at its numbers relative to its outbreak. The outbreak was actually at the end of last year, and so it's been going for about 3 months. And so basically you have to look at that to really get a good idea. Does that mean that it'll probably do more than the flu did last season? Depends on how quickly we can come up with an effective treatment. But is it Spanish flu levels? No. And if you look at its ability to kill, it's not as bad as SARS, it's not as bad as MERS, and it's nowhere near as bad as Ebola. Average says, are you on Top Chat? Crap, I am on Top Chat. Let me switch, which means I'm going to have to reload. Okay, there we go. Any predictions on Picard episode 10? What will the cliffhanger be? Good question, Ryan. I don't know about the cliffhanger. I think it's going to probably be something out of left field, like having nothing to do with the rest of the story. I think that, honestly, I was disappointed by episode 9. I think episode 10 is just going to be big pew, 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 boom, boom, boom. That's all we're going to get. It's not going to be some deep exploration of what it means to be human. It's just going to be, okay, kill the evil robots. Oh no, the evil synths from another dimension are coming, and everybody has to fight them. Pew, 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 bang, bang, bang. And so even though the ancient civilization that could move stars around were wiped out by these evil ancient synths, for some reason the Federation, the Romulans, and the Borg will be able to stop them. And Scientific Lens says, yes, acute liver damage. Did not know about that. Thomas says, do you know what the U.S. government did when the Spanish flu hit? Nothing. Okay. But here's the thing. I get that. All right. I'm not saying that they should do nothing. But what I also think is shutting down the economy is not a smart move. You're going to make the cost more than the cure. The cost of saving people will be more than the cost of letting the disease run its course. Because here's the problem, is that with if people are forced not to work, and, tens if not hundreds of thousands of people in the United States right now are forced out of work, right? Particularly people that are in the restaurant industry, in the hospitality industry, in entertainment industry, basically what we would consider non-essentials, right? So these people are all out of work. Now, most of these people rent or pay a mortgage. And guess what? Now they can't pay their rent or their mortgage. And so they got to go to their landlords and say, hey, I can't pay the rent this month. Now, the landlords will have a couple of options. Now, of course, they're humans, so hopefully a lot of them will be compassionate and say, well, I understand. However, they have a business to run as well, which means that they'll say, well, you can pay this month's rent next month, which means now the person, when they get back to work, hopefully, then they're going to have to earn twice as much money in order to pay the rent, which they're not going to have. So they're going to be behind forever on the rent. Meanwhile, those people that their landlords are have to pay their mortgages on their buildings, right? And they're going to say, well, golly gee, I can't pay the mortgage this month. And the mortgage company is going to say, well, you can pay double next month. And so on and so forth. And so that causes all sorts of economic problems on the civilian side of things. Now, the federal government can step in and say, well, we're going to save the day by printing tons and tons and tons of money and just giving it away like candy, and everybody will be fine. And that's what actually a lot of people want. They want the government to do a massive stimulus package, give all this money to people so that they can get by. Which on the surface sounds great until you realize what the long-term effects of that kind of thing are. It's a little thing called hyperinflation. Most people in this country have never seen what hyperinflation can do. But imagine if a loaf of bread costs you $150, $200. That's hyperinflation. Thank you for the green screen link. Got mine today. They were out of stock till today. Well, I'm glad you got it. And what was that? Let's see. Ensign Ricky says, during the Spanish flu, we didn't have the medical technology that we do now, so really it's hard to compare the two. If they had access to the tech, the death tolls would have been much lower. That's probably true. DJ says, my prediction, Riker shows up, says fire, and fades to black. That would be horrible. Daniel says, 2 dogs test positive, quarantined for coronavirus in Hong Kong, and the first dog that got the virus dead. Andrew, do you think I will be able to take my little Shih Tzus out this summer? Yes. I heard that story as well. Now, I don't know how well verified that whole thing about a couple of dogs getting it. However, this would not be even if true, this would not be the first time that a disease was transferred from humans to animals and vice versa. Heck, this whole thing with the coronavirus is actually a bat disease that is infecting humans. Anyway, Darren says, I think a new Soon character played by Brent Spiner is actually Lore. You know, the villain that has never been modified yet should have bloody hacks. Never even been mentioned, sorry, but yet should have, yeah. I've heard people say that. I hope that's not the case. It wouldn't, it really wouldn't make much sense for a final episode reveal. I mean, what are they going to do? Have him show up and say, by the way, I'm Lore! And then he's gone, you know. FYI, in the Q&A CDC page on the virus, they said they don't have enough data on if warm weather will stop it. Well, I don't think warm weather will stop it. I mean, at the best, warm weather will slow down its transmission. That's assuming that the virus survives less time in warm air than cool air. Adjutan's Department of Justice is pushing for detention of suspects without trial during the crisis. No, that's not good. Zachary says, it would make complete sense if it was Lore and not Soon's son, but I doubt they will do that. I do think Soji will return to Picard's side, join the crew for good. Yeah, probably. Tom says, I need a haircut. I don't want hippie hair. I need a haircut too. Ensign Ricky says, even our medical tech now can't kill this thing yet, and it's spreading like wildfire, but we can test for it. They didn't have the options we have now in 1918. Very true. Mr. Morrow says, when I hear people compare this to Spanish flu, it's in the context of worrying about how the Spanish flu mutated and got way worse. If this thing did the same, it would be ugly. Well, indeed, if this thing kills 50 million people, that's, serious. But at the same time, and this is a tough thing here, and I'm being, just got to be honest about it. What's worse, 50 million deaths, which would primarily, and I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, would primarily be elderly and people suffering from immunodeficiencies, right? 50 million dead. Compare that to completely destroying the worldwide economy. Which is worse? Serious question. Not pretending to have a clear-cut answer. Darren says, the book of Revelation says that in the end times, a day's wages won't be enough to buy a meal. Inflation can do that. Indeed, it can. The government does not print money. They sell bonds to the banks, which in turn sell them to the Fed, which counterfeits new money to pay for them. Okay. And Tom's putting a link to the CDC on the coronavirus. Ozzy says, your dog can't get a virus. Your dog can't get a virus. I'm not sure why you're saying that. Cats and dogs all die, and we will end up with pet apes. Oh, shit, beginning of the Planet of the Apes. Oh, that's true. That's true. The worst thing is, the worst thing people are sharing everything else they see online and not checking the legitimacy of the articles and blogs they're sharing. Exactly. Like I said, as far as this story about, there's a couple of cases of this coronavirus in a couple of dogs in Hong Kong. Now, Mrs. Antrecker saw that same thing. I think she was looking at Facebook or something. There's a lot of crap on Facebook, like gargle with bleach. Facebook tells you that don't worry, when springtime hits, it'll stop because the sun will make it go away. Hey guys, lie out in the sun. That'll cure the virus. Right? You hear all sorts of crap like that. It's called bullshit. Now, I don't know if there were legitimately a couple of dogs that got the disease. Don't know. Don't care. I'm more concerned with people right now than dogs. Oh, and Thomas says there's a section in that CDC link on animals. Well, let me see. What does it say? Oh, COVID-19 and animals. What about imported animals or animal products? The CDC does not have any evidence to suggest that imported animals or animal products pose a risk for spreading the disease. Let's see. Can I get COVID-19 from my pets or animals? There is no reason at this time to think that any animals, including pets in the United States, might be the source of infection with this new coronavirus that causes COVID-19. To date, the CDC has not received any report of pets or other animals becoming sick with the COVID-19 in the United States. Pets have other types of coronaviruses that can make them sick, like canine and feline coronaviruses. These other coronaviruses cannot infect people and are not related to the current COVID-19 outbreak. So there you go. I don't know if dogs can catch coronavirus, but I'm pretty sure birds can get anal fungus. That is true. That is actually true. In fact, humanoid birds, 100% of them have anal fungus. Fun fact. And 50 million dead today is nothing compared to what it was in 1918. Almost 8 billion people compared to less than 2 billion. Well, so that would mean that instead of 50 million, if we multiply the population by 4, it would be 200 million. So same question applies. 200 million dead, mostly elderly and immunocompromised individuals, compared to completely destroying the worldwide economy, which is worse. Star Trek Discovery, and that's worst case scenario we're talking. So which is worse? Destroying the economy for the entire planet, or 200 million dead, mostly elderly and immunocompromised? Star Trek Discovery Season 3 delayed as coronavirus slows post-production. Oh, gosh darn. Confirmed, Anna Traeger doesn't care about dogs. Well, I do care about dogs. Like, I love Auntie, and Sassy seems like a nice dog and everything, but I care about people more. And I'll tell you that if Bird's house was on fire and I had a choice between saving Bird or saving Sassy, I would not hesitate for a moment, and I would save Bird. That's just the way it is. I do think that human life trumps animal life. I know not everybody agrees with me on that, and that's perfectly fine. You have a right to be bass-ackwards. DJ says, yay! An upside of the virus, it delayed Discovery Season 3. Yes. Darren says, hot places like Africa have almost no cases. That's why people are thinking hot weather somehow protects them from the virus. And it could also be that in Africa, you have a much more isolated population, many, many times over more so than the rest of the world. We also have poor reporting, poor health care, and so probably a lot of people are infected and are not reported. I mean, I know you're not arguing about that, Darren, but that's probably more likely the cause than the fact that Africa is warm. Because if it was just the fact that Africa was warm, then I would guess that South America shouldn't have very many cases either. And yet, South America's got plenty of cases. Let's see. Brazil, 1,891 cases, 34 deaths. Ecuador, 981 cases, 18 deaths. And while these numbers don't sound huge, consider the population of these countries compared to the United States. Now, Brazil, that could explode at any time. You never know. Peru, 395 cases, 5 deaths. Chile, 746. Argentina, 266. Now, in Africa, you have, like South Africa is the biggest in Africa with 402 confirmed cases. You look at like African nations like Guinea, or only has 9 cases, but there you're talking, or Tanzania has 12, right? Nigeria, 36. And so you say, oh wow, look how rare it is in that hot climate of Africa, right? So yeah, obviously hot climate's going to cure you. That's why there's nothing in Australia, right? Oh wait, I know. Well, let's look at, are there any hot parts of the United States? Oh yeah, Los Angeles. Los Angeles by itself, 536 cases. That's just LA. So, yeah, I don't think that the temperature, the ambient temperature, is going to stop it. I'm wondering if shows are going to stop making episodes till this passes. Could put a dampener on TV and streaming services. Oh, yeah, a lot of entertainment projects are going on hold right now. Many elderly dead would give the Dems a leg up winning an election, still would be ruin the economy. So would be, I assume you mean ruining the economy, yes. So it's a win-win for Democrats. If you don't switch up to a more cheerful topic, I'm going to switch over to Rambling Canuck stream. It's not my fault. You guys brought it up. I don't want to talk about this crap. Exactly, I would say bird first. Sucks for the cat, but a human life is more important. We have the duty to treat animals well before we eat them. Well, that's the thing. I don't believe in animal cruelty. Don't get me wrong. But I do think that human life is intrinsically more valuable than animal life. Mr. Miles says, I was just talking about how the Spanish flu and this virus have similarities, but you responded by talking about the economy. Sounds like you thought I had an economic agenda. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to imply that, Mr. Miles. But I know, the thing is that when people try to compare this to the Spanish flu, first of all, coronavirus and flu are totally different. I get that, well, if you just want to say, well, it's a major outbreak, yeah, they're both major outbreaks, but also we don't know what the totals are going to be for this yet, right? So you can't really compare it to the Spanish flu until this outbreak is done, and then you can compare the numbers. We don't have enough test kits to determine what the virus is actually doing in the population. Anywhere in the world could suddenly have a major breakout. Well, that is another problem, Sean, is that the only way to really know would be to test every single person, and that's simply not feasible. Tom says, unfortunately, Africa doesn't have great health care, and I'm afraid they'll get hit. You're probably right. And that's the thing. I don't think that, just because you don't have a lot of reported cases doesn't mean there aren't a lot of cases. Yeah. So, how about those sports balls that aren't happening? And, how about, man, it's hard to talk about anything other than the damn virus. It's pissing me off, to be honest with you. I tried to do a video just about Trek, and it's like, I keep, the thing is that it's everywhere. You can't go out because of the damn virus. You can't, there's no new production because of the damn virus. Can't get toilet paper because of the damn virus. But I do have something I'll show you guys. You want to see? I have something incredibly valuable. Hold on.
In Ireland, who's Darth Revan's cousin, they do sound a lot alike. I will grant you that. There's not a lot. It's hard to tell the difference between the two, but there is a difference.
Okay, so I am. I never thought I would be willing to share something this valuable with you guys, but I'm willing to do this. You can have this if right now you super chat me $500. I will send this to you. Not making that up. I know. So you guys might, Andy Trigger, I can be so generous. I know, but it's true. I will send this to you. All you got to do is super chat me $500, and this bottle of isopropyl alcohol, 99%, will be yours. $500. You're not going to find a deal like that anywhere right now. If only we had the transporter biofilter, indeed. I heard Ozzy O'Prey is a virus. He is. Tom says, I miss hockey. I need it now. It's better than a Muslim Asian wife in the USSR. Oh, man. What was that virus at TNG that made everyone drunk? I wish that was the one spreading and said. Yes, although that one actually started in the original series in the episode Naked Time, which me and Mrs. Antrigger were actually watching earlier today. Mr. Ross says, more cheerful topic. How about that Yellowstone has become more active recently and is overdue, or the San Andreas Fault in California will cause a superquake that is also overdue? Yes, Mr. Ross, those are great topics. So what do you think about the 25% rule in Star Trek? Well, Aberjam, I think that there's some truth, some fiction in it. There's the 25% rule was an artistic, creative decision. Nothing more, nothing less. There's no legal requirement for it. It was simply an edict handed down. And there's a brief.
I got him! Great kid! Don't get cocky!
$500.
Now, you see, you have to actually donate $500. So $499 more, and it's all yours. Thank you, Editor Supreme. Let's see. But yeah, I think that the people that think that, they were legally required to, or that there's a super secret deal where the Prime Universe isn't the Prime Universe, it's really and I know I've argued with Midnight's Edge about it and stuff, and I get it. Does it matter ultimately? No. Let's see. T-Bird says, that's insulting. Most of your devoted fans are smart enough to build a still. Well, shh. I'm not trying to get the smart ones. And LDG puts in a couple of bucks. Maybe.
Hello, world.
There we go.
I got him! Great hit! Don't get cocky.
$1 million.
So thank you. If only that was actually the numbers were reversed there, and it was $1 million super chat that said $2. Then I would send you 2 bottles of this. Let's see. What are happening to special themed smartphones like the Iron Man, Batman one, and others they did before? Well, nobody's doing that because everybody just doesn't care about gimmicks like that. They care about how much raw power it has. It's a bargain. Do it. Yes. And Robert says, wonder what happened. Oh, I already read that. Mr. Trent says, watch the movie The Hunt. You can get it online now. For a little older, Hunter Killer, great submarine movie. Was thinking of a great Star Trek film would make TOS or Next Gen. I miss the starship combat that we saw that ended with Star Trek 2. I really do. That was the last great Star Trek battle. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like the Deep Space Nine epic battles were epic and all that, but nothing like what we got in the Battle of Mutara Nebula. That's starship battle done right, and it's never been done that well since. White Spy says, what's the 25% rule? The 25% rule was the idea that there was an edict, and like I said, it's partially true, that there was an edict handed down to the artistic team of Discovery, Star Trek Discovery, that said that every single thing in the show had to look at minimum 25% different than anything we had ever seen before on Trek. That's why the warp nacelles were shaped different. That's why the ships had different colors. That's why the uniforms looked different. That's why the phasers look different. Even though this took place in the TOS era, it doesn't fit TOS at all because everything had to be 25% different. We learned all about Data in the Naked Time. We learned that he was fully functional and he could technically get drunk. Well, that was the Naked Now. The Naked Time is the TOS episode. Maybe one silver lining will be that we work harder to achieve space travel and space colonies so we don't all die in some Earth-based plague. Well, yeah, I could see that. Tom says, what the hell are we going to talk about after Picard's over? We'll come up with something. I'm pretty sure we'll come up. In fact, I don't hate Picard, but I will be kind of glad when it's over. Just a couple more days. What strange thing did Bird do today? Well, he sang a lullaby, Mr. Captain. He actually did. Maybe we'll play it again for you. A lifetime supply of toilet paper, the first person to bust me out of Kuroga. Wow, that's pretty generous, Aberjam. I didn't know you had a lifetime supply of toilet paper. And Indy puts in $5.
I got him! Great hit! Don't get cocky.
Look up the elite Spanish Army's new uniform. Then make fun of it. Number 3.
All right, the elite Spanish Army's new uniform. All right. And number 3 now, when you say number 3, Indy Tiger, real quick, do you mean Super Chat number 3 or Uber Chat number 3? Because since you put in $5, you could have either one. So you got to tell me to be clear. All right, so elite Spanish Army new uniform. Wow. Really? Is that for real? I mean, really, is that? That's really a thing? That's wow. And indeed, Uber Chat. All right, you got it, my friend. Now that you burnt my eyeballs.
Dad, do you think you could start eating healthier? Well, I got this apple for you here.
I don't care, you...
My, how the tables have turned.
What tables? Go make me another super chat.
Oh, bollocks.
And, alright, so... This... I mean, I guess it's kind of funny they have this goat here, too. I mean... What were they thinking? Darth Revan says, hope you're well, man. Been a while, hanging in there. What strange thing did Bird do today? He sang a lullaby. On the bright side, humanity will concentrate more on combating diseases, so maybe more people will be healthier in the long run. Doubt it. And there's average am saying lifetime supply of TP. How did I miss those? I don't know. Mr. Treckelstein, what happened to the paintbrush? Huh? Speaking of Picard, you know I've been on board with the show, so it hurts me to say this. I think they're ripping off Mass Effect again. Yes. Star Trek 2 had a great soundtrack too. Battle of Matara Nebula is one of my absolute favorite. Oh yeah, I like the Kirk oh gosh, what's the name of the song now? I can't remember the track names, but where Khan first attacks and when Kirk retaliates. I love that. Star Trek 6 had a decent ship battle. It was okay, but it wasn't nearly as good as Star Trek 2. The ships were moving too quickly, maneuvering and just zipping around a little too much. I used to think Wrath of Khan was done by James Cameron, but people recently told me it was Nicholas Meyer. Did James Cameron have anything to do with Wrath of Khan or any Trek? I do not believe James Cameron did anything having to do with Trek. He was the production designer for Battle Beyond the Stars. Tom says, do you still use Vimeo? I do have the account. We've been using it actually for a storage facility for people to get videos back and forth between me and the other content creators. We've got to get the subscriber-only streams going again, and I'm sorry that we haven't been able to do it because with the whole coronavirus crap, it's been stupid. I'm thinking that like on Saturday, I'm going to do a subscriber-only stream. Other Charles says, the ship I give, she takes. I can't save my life. I had to live hers. Now I know why you call her she. Awesome moment in Naked Time. Yeah, Kirk was... That had some great character moments in it. It really did. Darren says, I want to preview the new USS Anti-Checker. Well, it's not nearly done. That's the problem. I mean, it's still very early. But let me see if there's a decent picture that I can show you that kind of gives an idea of what it's going to look like. See, that's a little too rough. That's all right. That's not quite there. So the closest, I think, see, it's such a different shape. So this is a very rough, this is just the general shapes of it, but I'll show you for just a second here. That's where we're at right now with it. But it's still obviously very, very rough, has a long ways to go. All right. Mr. Scott says, after Picard is over, we clearly bash Kuroga more than we do now. Well, yeah, we will have to do that. And Scientific says, the alcohol needs to be 70% to work properly against the virus. 90% will not penetrate it. How does that make any sense? Wow, teal uniforms, yeah. People say that Picard is ripping off Mass Effect, but Mass Effect ripped off Babylon 5 with the Vorlons and the Shadows. Well, everything, here's the thing. There's a fine line between ripping off and paying homage to, right? And the thing is that, I mean, the ship on Picard just looks like the Normandy just scaled down a little bit. How long before TV studios run out of new content with all the shutdowns? I don't know, but I would say that this fall is going to be pretty slim pickings. Darth Ren says, "Hello, those are people who ordered my cousin back into her house. Ha ha ha! How she didn't die laughing." Okay. Oh, those are the people that. Oh, those soldiers. Okay. What are your other favorite big sci-fi franchises besides Star Trek, BSG, any other big space operas? Do you remember the game Homeworld? I love Homeworld. They're making a new sequel. Well, I hope the sequel is better than Deserts of Kashyyyk, because Deserts of Kashyyyk kind of sucked, in my opinion. However, I love the original Homeworld. Absolutely love that game. Played it to death. As far as big sci-fi franchises besides Star Wars and Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, yes, absolutely. I love the Battlestar Galactica, both the original and the remake. I really like Orville. I really like The Expanse. So sci-fi is far from dead. It's just that, unfortunately, Star Trek is on life support right now. Mr. Cat says, wasn't that the Krogan army? I do believe it was. And Tom says, that's the wrong picture, it's the Kuroga army. Yes, I think you're right. It's such a clever neckline. Elite Spanish for gay. From now on, it's no longer the Kingdom of Spain. It's the Kingdom of Spanish honey. Spanish honey. Wow. This Ross says, so military is using pastels. Well, don't worry, Darwin. Sort it out. Well, yeah. The new meme is Star Trek Mass Effect, BioWare should sue. I would like that very much. That would be hilarious if BioWare did sue. Why no saucer on the USS Anti-Tracker? Well, it's more of an arrowhead shape, obviously. And that will become more apparent as the design... One thing we're doing here, Darren, is we're trying to go for a feel of realism that is not common in Trek. And so everything you saw on that ship actually serves a purpose. And so now we're basically working out the finer details of it all. When it's all done, I think you will really like it. So you like 4 nacelles better than Captain Foley's 3? Well, yes, 4 is better than 3. Don't get me started on Mass Effect 3's ending. The Last Jedi before there was a Last Jedi. I've not played Mass Effect 3. In fact, the problem is I don't have an Xbox, and on PC you can only get Mass Effect 2, so it's like, what's the frickin' point? Please tell me you gave some thought to the 3D printing about your logo as a mic cover, painted, of course, as well. Eventually, yes, but right now I have, the print that's on there right now is Baby Bender, which, if you don't remember the episode, Bender had sex with a soda pop machine, and they had a baby, and so I'm printing that baby. So we'll have Baby Groot, Baby Yoda, and Baby Bender. And then after that, I'm actually printing a camera stand that will attach to the printer itself. And then after that, if I can get something done, I will probably try to do something like that, doing a
Picard's
turd
so
thing.
bad people giving Enterprise second chance.
Picard's so bad, people giving Enterprise a second chance. I'll say this. Enterprise gets a lot of undeserved hatred. Enterprise is definitely not my favorite Star Trek show, but it's not my least favorite either. And my only real problem with Enterprise is conceptually I like it, but the tech is too advanced to fit into Trek continuity, and which is a problem that Discovery has as well. And the continuity errors in it are just egregious at points. And so, yeah. And let's see. Where was I? Your ship looks like the an Orville Universe scout ship. It's about the size of a scout ship. The whole ship could fit into it's like, we actually did. Let me show you. I'll show you a scale now. We've altered the design significantly since this shot, but this was just to kind of get you an idea of scale of the ship. Let's see if we can find. Here's a good one. So this should give you an idea as far as size. Anyway, do you think Disney should release Black Widow on Disney Plus? That might not be a bad idea, to be honest with you. If they have everything they need to release it, then I think that would be a really cool thing for Disney to do. To say, hey guys, we know it sucks right now, so here's a little something on us. Enjoy the next Marvel movie on us. Just, all you gotta do is be subscribed to Disney Plus and you can watch it. Sci-fi is far from dead, but is also far from optimistic in every iteration. Well, Orville is pretty optimistic. However, I will agree, The Expanse is definitely not, but that's not the type of show The Expanse is. Which is unfortunate, because I do prefer my sci-fi to be optimistic in nature. But yeah, that's just not The Expanse, ever. What I would like to see, and then you have things like Space Command, which is an online, you can check it out on Mr. Sci-Fi, and Space Command is an optimistic view, but it's, it doesn't, I'm not going to say it sucks, it just lacks in certain aspects that kind of break it a little bit for me, but I do like at least what they're going for. Have you been binge watching during all this? I started Hell on Wheels. Side note, Anson Mount totally bashed that celebrity image video. Hilarious. I've not been binge watching much because I've been working a lot. That's I don't get time off just because of all this, because I work from home. Should Firefly come back? No, but I could see them rebooting it. I don't want to see... first of all, if you saw... the movie Serenity, the story's over. All right, you don't need to continue from there. However, if you want to reboot Firefly, I'm all for it. And let's see. And Darren says, "Oh, realism, got it." Oh, you'll be impressed, Darren. I think you'll be impressed when you see what we're doing. Well, it's bedtime for me. See you later, buddy. All right, Mr. Wolverine, have a good one. The military's down the road for me. Can't get past them. Well, that's a good thing. Keep you contained. Have you ever seen Robotech? I like that, too, back in the day. Babylon 5 was also good during its time. I enjoyed Babylon 5 in its day. I've never watched Robotech. Do not play Mass Effect 3. Ending is terrible. I've heard that. Mr. Mouse says you can get Mass Effect 3 on PC. You could from day one. Not sure where you got the idea. Well, when I searched for Mass Effect on Steam, it only had Mass Effect 2 available. Maybe I just misread it, but that's all I saw. My friends are, I think, literally doing a Picard hate stream. Only one has seen it in a group of 6. I'm not sure what you're talking about. If you had to choose, would you rather that Star Trek Discovery Control shows up in Picard finale or V'ger? Neither, because neither makes sense. Sorry. Discovery's tech discrepancies are way bigger than Enterprise's. 2 wrongs don't make a right. The problem with Enterprise, I felt the cast never meshed well together. They didn't have the chemistry that other shows have. I'll agree with you there. You should auction off the Baby Bundle 3-pack. You'll make a fortune. I wish I would, but I don't think these are that good. But that's actually not a bad idea. Do a Baby Bundle 3-pack and put it on eBay, see if I can make a couple of bucks that way. Did you enjoy the movie Apollo 13? If you did, you can check out the movie Saljut 7 sometime. It's like the Soviet version of Apollo 13 based on real-life events. I did like Apollo 13, but I've never heard of Saljut 7. Mr. Ron says, Mass Effect does borrow a lot from other sci-fi series, but they're very upfront about it. The author of the story will tell you every other sci-fi series that inspired his universe. Okay, so the new new USS Anti-Tracker are the nacelles, pairs, dorsal, and ventral like on the Stargazer, or port and starboard. Well, hard to describe, really, Darren, because let me show you one more image to kind of, which is the nacelles, what we would refer to in the modern Trek vernacular as a warp coil, is exposed in these. And so, let's see, here's a good image of it. So you can see the coils inside of it, and they spin, and each one, it's not the same warp drive as you're thinking from classic Trek. So they don't work quite the same way. Macross Frontier is optimistic. Haven't seen it. You just moved camera left. I noticed the Hypno-Turd console. Oh, yeah, the Hypno-Turd, yes. Disney did put Frozen 2 on Disney Plus earlier than they were going to. This 3-year-old girl in my house watches it every day. Thank God I can go to my room. Darren says, I like to see a new Firefly series that starts with Malcolm Reynolds selling the Serenity to a new main character. Keep the old crew for occasional guest appearances. Well, the surviving ones, anyway. Also, Mass Effect is a story I wish you had in your mental database. It's very well put together universe story. I don't doubt it. That's I've heard nothing but good things about it overall, except for the ending. But not being an Xbox head, I mean, if I can't play the whole series, it kind of breaks it for me. Did you follow Dark Matter at all? I liked it, but it was another show that got canceled without any closure. Damn crap should be illegal. I'm trying to remember. That does sound really familiar, but and my brain is cramping up on that one. I'm off to bed. Be awesome. Please do a private stream so you EU subs can join. I probably will on Saturday. We need a live stream of you versus Mr. Miles in Trek and Stargate trivia. Well, if we're talking TOS, I'll crush Mr. Miles. If we're talking Stargate, Mr. Miles will crush me. Andrew, chat is the only place that grays out of my text. Okay. If I knew what finances will be in the next months, I'd buy Baby Yoda. I know. Thomas, do not stress over it. I know, for those of you that are affected by the virus, as much as I wish I could say, hey, give me all your money because I am a greedy bastard still, but I also do not want you guys hurting yourselves for my sake. All right. As much as, yeah, that'll hurt us a little bit, but I don't, we'll manage. Right. And so what I would ask is that just make sure you watch the videos, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, that kind of stuff, yada, 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 and share the videos on various social media platforms. So if we can grow the channel, that's all, that's more help than even if you throw the occasional super chat in, although super chats are nice. Jaeger says, reason you can't find Mass Effect 3 on Steam is because EA wanted to have their own online service called Origin, like the ending of ME3. Origin also sucks. Oh, it's on Origin, that's why. Okay, I actually have like 1 or 2 games on Origin like I have the Command and Conquer series on Origin, but I never go there because I hate Origin. Daedra, yeah, Enterprise crew wasn't as tight as other crews. Trip had the most friendship relationship with the crew. Hoshi wasn't close to anybody. Merryweather wasn't either. Yeah, they really just didn't mesh well. Reminds me of the Klingon warp cores on Space Engineers. Well, wait till you see this thing. It's a badass idea, and me and the 3D modeler have been working together on conceptually putting this together as far as each piece, talking about how it works and all that. Have you seen Script Doctor's reviews on Picard? They're pretty good. I have not. I'm a friend of Script Doctor's, but I have not seen his reviews on Picard. But I got a lot of respect for him. Jeff is in the house, says hi. Zachary says, is the USS Antitrek capable of transwarp, but does it have a quantum slipstream drive? Neither! You're going the wrong direction in time. It predates the NX-01. Did you enjoy shows like Twilight Zone, Outer Limits, Amazing Stories, etc.? If so, do you have any favorite episodes that stood out in your mind? Amazing Stories I was actually kind of disappointed in when it first came out. Twilight Zone I liked better than Outer Limits. But I did like both of them. And with Twilight Zone, it's a real mixed bag. It's usually the ones that I liked are either ones that were true sci-fi stories or ones that just really get you at the end. And so, I mean, there's so many of them, it's impossible to to Serve Man comes to mind. And then there's the one where the aliens are on a flying saucer, and at the end you find out the flying saucer is only like that big, and then you have the one where you have these random people put together in a room trying to figure out what's going on, and at the end you find out it's a donation bin for like the Salvation Army and stuff like it. It's kind of weird, but yeah, there's I like the Twilight Zones that get you guessing what the big twist is going to be, and you never get it right, Other Child says, you live around Murfreesboro? I live in Murfreesboro. Any Civil War battlefield sites you can recommend? The Stones River battlefield is in Murfreesboro proper. And actually, it's kind of a cool site. I went there with Lore Reloaded once, actually. And walking around the rocks and stuff where the battle took place, you could see exactly why you would choose that as a defensive position. Word around the campfire is that streaming services are fighting over the rights to produce a Destroyer Man series based on the book series, alternate hit naval sci-fi. I have not heard about that one, but hopefully it works. Life with Matthew's in the house says, good evening. How you doing, Matthew? Thomas says, I was planning a trip to the Smoky Mountains. Well, not anymore, Thomas. Not anymore. I'm a classic Twilight Zone buff. My favorite are the time slip episodes. You mean like ones where like they end up in a different time than they started in? Those can be a lot of fun. And so, but yeah, so I am going to wrap it up, guys, because I'm tired and I got to get up early and it's just been a long week. However, don't forget to go, if they're still streaming, let me check real quick because I want to make sure that he is still streaming. Let's see. Yes, Rambling Canuck is in fact still streaming. He's got Sci-Fi Nation and V-Man on right now. So I would say go check out Rambling Canuck, give him a like, and listen to him for a couple minutes. If you like him, then hang out and talk to him. If you don't like him, well, you don't have to hang out. But there's the link to... Oh, and Captain Trek put it in as well. Thank you, Captain. There's the link. Check it out. Go say hi to him. And in the meantime, guys, Kapla, Jolantru, or whatever your particular favorite greeting alien language is. Ralph says, one of the videos I'm finishing a franchise compared to FTL speeds, hyperspace, space fold. Oh, very cool. Well, see, and then we'll see how mine fits into that eventually. All right, guys, so have a good one and take care. Oh, wait. Let's play Bird of Prey's Lullaby one more time because why not?
Kronos' Innocent Coughs could be a good song
Let's skip
title.
ahead to the lullaby.
It's 8 o'clock on a Monday. And Anti-Tracker is shaving baby Groot.
Shaving baby Groot?
Sassy's jumping on the bed with a woo. And Stromore is typing away in the chat. It's 8 o'clock on a Saturday, and you're on a bed live stream.
Hold on, LG.
I'm so sorry you're feeling sick. But life is but a dream. That's an original. Except the last time I borrowed that.
Alright, and then just for LDG, let's see if we can find that real quick. There it is.
Yes! Look at Aurora!
Making your way with the nerds today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from hating JJ sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to just get laid? Sometimes you wanna go where all the Trekkies know your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be in a galaxy where Star Trek isn't lame. You wanna go where everybody knows your name. Turds of a feather flock together, that's what we believe. We know a place that's got you covered, a place to get relief. then you like to say me prove. Sometimes you wanna go where turn to steadies know your name, and all Kurogans are to blame. You wanna be where you can see Kuroga go up in flames. You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
And we had Night Breeze.
You son of a bitch, anti-tracker!
I promise you there'll be no bird singing. However, I think we're going to have a solo, but done by sci-fi.
I'm an asshole.
When you get a chance, listen. You just might need Mrs. Sci-Fi to hoof you in the nuts to be able to reach the you're wanting to torture us, wanting to torture us, wanting to torture us, wanting to torture Jeff Franklin, Jeff Franklin, Jeff So, where would you like to go from here? So, where would you like to go?
Well, no, that's just like, like, hey, you wanna come hang out with us? You know, just be you, here's why, you know. And then, well, no, that's just like, hey, you wanna come hang out with us?
And again, I do like to thank
whatever he is dedicated, and then, we talk about the unity all the time. That's what it's about right there. And either, and I'm not saying that that's what it's all about right there.
Yeah, I know. That's the funny part. But yeah, it's